Hello everybody and welcome back to Quantum Robin Gaming and welcome back to Rocket League Sideswipe. What we are going to do today is we are going to do some testing on how good the AI really are against a novice. That is me, and we are going to go in some one-to-ones. We're going to go through novice, intermediate and expert. Depending on how we do, we will see if we can get some time for some hoops and some 2v2. Now, I haven't warmed up today, so this is pretty much me going straight in. And one thing that I will say, the one-for-ones both on the online version and against the AI, the kickoffs are absolutely critical, even more critical than they are in normal Rocket League, partly because we have the height of the goals here, which we don't have in the normal Rocket League, and it's all on one plane. There is nowhere else for the ball to go. I messed that up there. I was trying to be a little flashier than I should have been, and I caught myself out. And then we got to miss it at the end. That was just me being silly. Concentrating on talking and playing at the same time clearly isn't my strong suit. So as I was saying, the kickoffs are super critical. If you get the ball going anywhere on target during a kickoff, it is pretty much going in. There's no questions about it. You've got no three-dimensional plane to play in. The 1v1s especially, there's no one behind you. If you can get the opponent to overcommit on the kickoff or during normal play, yeah, they've got very little hope unless you mess up really. As you can see, the novice version, they're okay. You can generally beat them pretty comfortably unless you don't do anything super stupid, but you can rinse them on the kickoffs pretty much every time if you know what sort of kickoffs to do. Sometimes they'll mix up their kickoffs. I tend to boost through with this slight hover, as you can see there. It sends you high on your kickoff, and you can normally then get a win over them by taking the ball up and over them on the kickoff, which works out quite well, at least I find. Not sure why I dribbled it that way. Never mind. And what you'll find is against opponents, you'll get some that will hang back. You will get some that will also go high, and then you get a stalemate, and you'll get others that will try and go low on you, and sometimes that will work. If you just do a straight drive at the ball and the opponent isn't there, you are able to just punt it in. So that works pretty much as it does in normal Rocket League. But for me, the 1v1s especially, the kickoffs are absolutely crucial. There's no getting away from that. It is really something that you've got to put in your time against, and I'm messing myself up here by not touching the ball whilst I'm supposed to be defending. Never mind. So let's get back in another couple of goals off these kickoffs maybe. There we go. So I'm no fairy peak, as you can tell, but in terms of one-to-one, the novice and intermediate on one-to-one will give you a pretty decent game. As if you were playing on sort of the bronze, silver level in the online modes. So don't think that you're completely going to thrash them all the time. They're pretty decent. They know what to do in the air. They can save the ball. They can aerial if they need to. So all in all, the novice and the intermediates in the 1v1 will give you an okay game. So there we go on the novice. We ended up making a difficult. So here we are with the intermediate bots here. And there's a couple of things I noticed of playing the intermediate bots on the few occasions that I have. One of which is the personality types of the bots, and the fact that some of them are much more aerial orientated and they will go up and they will do their air dribbles. Some of them are much more orientated on the ground, and you'll get some that are super aggressive, others that are super defensive and will catch you on the break, and then some that are more generalists. And you've really got to know what bot you're going in against, because if you're not a particularly strong aerial guy, and you need to be able to play against one of the bots that is really going up a lot, you've got to be on target with regards to how you defend, as well as what sort of attacks you're going to take. Because if you do, really simple basic air dribbles, much like most of mine, and the bot is an aerial god, they're just going to rinse you for it. They really are. And for me, the key thing with these bots, as I'm trying to do here, is you've got to take every opportunity they give you. It doesn't need to look pretty. If they give you a goal scoring chance, take it. Because as much as at the moment I'm 5-0 up somehow, when the intermediate bots get going, they don't let up. They're going to score on you at every chance they get. And they really know what they're doing, especially the guys that are in the air. You know, I've frequently ended up with double touches up against me. I've had a couple of flip resets up against me. And it's not easy against the intermediate bots. And sometimes, as now, you know, my style of play seems to be suiting Jester quite well. My general one-on-one play style is sort of holding back and catching them on the break, and sort of mistake finding, really, letting someone overcommit like now, and trying to capitalize on it. That's sort of how I play one-on-ones. It's how I do it in duel. It's how I do it, you know, as a general game style. And against certain bots, especially the ones that are really, really good in the air, if you don't have a sound aerial defensive game, you're going to get smacked. You're going to get smacked about hard. And as you can see here from Jester, you know, I've lost a couple of the kickoffs. I've been in my half following a play, and I then you know, got scored on a couple of times as a result. Keeping and doing stupid stuff like that. Keeping the ball in control is never something that I've been super good at. My normal sort of Rocket League one-on-one plays have always been about trying to catch people off guard, you know, trying to capitalize on a mistake they've made. If they've overcommitted themselves to something, getting back quickly. That was something I always used to find I was pretty damn good at. You know, not pushing myself too far forward, being able to get back quick. But as you can see here, my ability to you know, control the ball soundly in a way that means I can you know, do something flashy. Like then I tried to do an aerial and then completely messed it up. Isn't good enough for me to rely on to be able to win. And I really have got the position where I need to just be able to do the basics, and from there hope that I've got enough momentum in me to be able to take the ball to the other end of the pitch without the AI catching me up. And for this particular game against Jester, it's worked. And I assure you that if I went and played against some of the other AI styles, I would have been absolutely sort of slaughtered in that particular game. So we're now 2 for 2. Let's move it up onto the expert and let's see what happens here. Now, my expectations on expert is that I get absolutely rinsed, and we're against Marley, so Marley can absolutely rinse us with his udder hat, his udder topper. Okay, that was a surprise. Marley didn't just score that one straight out of the box. Let's see what he does here. Okay. So Marley just knocked it a little bit too far in front of himself, and I did nothing more than a quick tap over the top. So that was quite fortunate here. Again, can we capitalise on the kickoff win? We can. So as you can see, you can get lucky against the AI, but if you let the AI start motoring, you're going to get yourself beat. I've played the intermediates a few times. I just saved my own shot because I didn't think it was going in. Whoops. Oh, and then Marley saved the shot for me. That's all good. And then he double touches it off the ceiling. Cool. I've not played the expert bots too often, and I tend to have fun watching what they're up to more than playing them, because some of them really do some cool stuff. And it was a good way for me to learn actually some of the tricks and some of the skills that you can do in Rocket League Sideswipe. The expert bots are so good, especially in the air, that you sort of learn some of their tricks and skills. Like what Marley did there, the dunk off the ceiling is something that I was doing and I was trying to use in hoops. I've not used it, I think, in battles in 1v1s yet. But those sorts of skills, those sorts of little tricks here and there are things that you can learn from. See, Marley's taken it up. He had no reason to. He's not done anything with it whilst it was up, but he took it up anyway. Okay, I just got in the way of Marley's attempt there. And again, let's see if we can take this one in. Ooh, not quite enough on there. Can we? Yes. So what I did there is I just raised the rear of the car in a little jump and hoped that it would donk off me, and somehow it sort of went in at the same time. I didn't expect it to, but I'll take it. 4-2 up against the expert bot. I'll take that. And yes, despite me beating the intermediate and currently beating the expert bot, I will say that the bots are much improved over the previous generation of bots that were in the original Rocket League. So don't take my current score as any level marker against the average ability of these bots. I just have simply been lucky. As you can see by my gameplay, I'm not particularly good. I think I've probably got the potential, if I put in some proper practice time, to get pretty decent at this. I used to be quite good in normal Rocket League, but it's been about 18 months since I played, so it's been a while. But I've been having fun, both in the... Oh dear, got under the ball too much there. I've been having fun both in the free play, just knocking the ball about in free play has been great fun. I've also been having good fun in the online games. I just don't have decent internet connection at the moment, so that's why we're not doing online games today. But without having the online games, I'm super pleased that we've got decent bots to be playing against instead. It's made the whole experience of Rocket League so much more accessible, because I can practice offline, I can take it online, and what I'm practicing against offline with the AI is of a standard which is competitive with what I'd be playing online, if not more so. So Marley's beaten me here. I'm not going to be too upset about Marley's win there. The fact that I was able to take it to a 5-6 and into overtime, I'm pretty pleased with that. Now, the AI, when you start moving into some of the other game modes, you'll see they start getting a little bit crazy. Let's do some intermediate 2v2, for example. We'll move on to the bigger field. I think that was expert 2v2. Anyway, never mind. We'll do expert 2v2. And get to see how much more crazy we have. For me, this is too tight, too much going on, too much insanity, and obviously no real communication available. Maybe I just let Merlin win the game for us. I'll sit at the back and we'll let Merlin play the game. The 2v2s, I was never a big fan of 2v2 in... okay, there, Merlin again, pinch off the ceiling, cool. I was never a big fan of the 2v2 in the normal game. That was not my favourite game mode. 1v1, then 3v3, then hoops was normally the way I'd go. And 2v2 was sort of the, I felt I had to because everyone else did. If I wanted a quick game, it was the only queue which was going to get games in pretty quickly. So I felt I had to play it. Here, it's okay. I do have plenty of issue with regards to the chaos that's here. The field doesn't feel big enough for 2v2. And there's so much going on, and it zooms out a lot when you've got players at complete opposite ends of the pitch. Okay, some own goals going in there as well. But all in all, it looks great, even in 2v2. It is fun to play. If you get a good partner in 2v2 and you're happy to use the quick chats over here to say that you're in position or I've got it and stuff like that, it works really quite well. I scored against the experts. Woo! I did something. It works really. It works well if you get a decent partner. Unfortunately, there's not many people on, so I haven't found any parties yet that I can join. So most of mine are randoms, and you know what randoms are like. It really is a mixed bag. You're going to get some that are cool, some guys that are just, you know, sitting doing nothing because their phone's either, you know, overheated or they've, you know, done something strange. Oh, we got a save as well, on fire. There you go. I just let Merlin win. Just fine. Merlin will win for me. So all in all, the game modes are fine. They're all good. We'll do hoops in a minute. Maybe we won't do hoops on expert. If not, we're going to get absolutely trashed. But I just feel the 2v2s are a bit too busy. For me, they're a bit too busy. Now, one thing that you may have noticed on here is that the AI are quick chatting to me and to each other. They will water save you if they score on you. They will GG you if you do something cool. Sometimes they do completely random stuff, but generally it's quite funny, and especially on the 1v1s where they get angry, or at least they show they're getting angry. You then score on them. And then, or they score on you, and they'll water save you about 6 times, and stuff like that. So it is quite funny to see the AI, you know, being part of the culture of the game, let's say. And a bit of toxic AI here and there is just amusing. It's quite fun. It gives you something to smile about, even if you're in an offline situation like I am here. Okay, Merlin and I are letting this one slip here. Maybe I should stop talking for the second and concentrate a bit, because Merlin has been 2v1ing these guys for the last 10 minutes as I just go and set them up with a beautiful knock-up for them to score on. Yeah, let's do less of that, hey? Let's do less of really bad gameplay and try and actually do something which might... okay, we're into overtime. Good. Let's reset here, as I was on the completely wrong end of the pitch. Okay, we're going to let Merlin go, because he was doing some... Okay, let's see if we can get up there. Got beat to the ball, and they scored off the beat of the ball. How did we let that one slip, Merlin? How did we let that one slip? Frustrating. Anyway, never mind. We got MVP from Raja in his whatever that thing is. I've not played Rocket League in so long. Here we are going into hoops. We have hoops on medium, and yeah, the hoops on this version of Rocket League I've really been enjoying. The big change for me in this version of hoops, which is also relevant for the cars themselves, is that the rim isn't great own goal there by Maverick. The rim of the hoop does not come into contact with the car, so you can fly through the rim in exactly the same way that on this version of Rocket League cars don't contact each other either. Which means you are more than... I missed my double dutch. Which means you are more than able to, you know, save shots. You can dive into to get goals here and there, by leaping through that hoop. And it's something that I wish they had done in the original Rocket League. I know it was a bit of a thing about the hoops in the PC version of the game, but for me it was a real frustration. And as much as I loved hoops, it partly was one of the reasons I didn't play it so much as I would have liked, because I used to get myself hooked on the rim a lot, and yeah, I know, get good noob type thing, but it really, for me, it was just one of those things where I don't think it wouldn't have depreciated from the game itself had it have been sort of transparent to the cars in the same way as there is here. Now, the one thing I've noticed with the AI in hoops, especially on intermediate and expert, is that they are really quick at the kickoff, much quicker than any online players that I've played. Is Maverick going for another own goal? Luckily, I was there to save it. And then I absolutely whiff my shot. Let's chip it up for Maverick. Let's see if he can get it in. No, he cannot. Let's see if we can get this now. A dunk there on Sabertooth. Can Maverick finish it? No. Both the enemies was there. I jumped too soon and whacked the rim. Never mind. For me, the hoops on this game is really cool. I really do like it. It's probably my favourite my favourite game mode at the moment. The only thing I've noticed about the AI version of Hoops is that when you're trying to score, more often than not, you're playing a 3v1 because your own teammate will just air dribble up or will fly up and try and catch an aerial, regardless of whether it's, you know, preventing a goal or not. It doesn't always happen, but it most definitely is something that can get a touch annoying here and there. I don't think Maverick's done it too often today. He's just double own goal, which is, I suppose, an acceptable alternative. Let's see if we can get a final goal with a double touch. Beautiful. Good, good. Okay, I think that warrants a rematch. Well, maybe not a rematch, but that'll warrant a second go on Hoops. So we eventually got in a goal after Maverick saves earlier on in the game. And let's see if we get any better luck on the next one. So a couple of little hints here and there. If you've got any challenges that require saves, and you want to get lots of saves in order to get up those challenges, like your weekly challenges and stuff like that, Hoops is your place to come. It really is. Hoops, you get loads of saves. I get very few saves in 1v1 or in 2v2, but on Hoops, there's lots and lots of saving going on. Which is partly because the way the 2D version of Rocket League works, if this single line, saving is a lot easier in Hoops in this version of the game than it is in the mainstream version of Rocket League. And there I go, completely whiffing the ball. And it means that as long as you're underneath the ball somewhere, when you jump up out of the net, you're almost definitely going to save a shot. The only time you really get shots that get past you is if you're out of position. Oh, good save there by Rainmaker. Is if you're out of position. Ah, there we go. What a save by Buzz. And he even what a saved himself against his own teammate. And I go off and whiff again, letting in another goal. Awesome stuff. Awesome stuff. So, this game has not turned out quite as I wanted, but never mind. Yeah, I haven't figured out the kickoffs on this version of Hoops yet. I also haven't figured out the pace of the ball. I'm missing a lot of my aerials. I'm missing a lot of attempts to hit the ball in the air, and it seems to be the pace of the ball is just a little bit slower than the main ball. I was whiffing the main ball as well, so don't get me wrong there. But it is noticeable. It's something that I've definitely been aware of playing Hoops on here. Now let's see if we can make a bit of a comeback here with Buzz. So Buzz has just missed, and we've got a save from Maverick, and then Buzz own goals. As you can see, you do get this feeling of a 3v1 in this version of Hoops. Now the skill of the players is clearly there. They're definitely much more skilled than me, these AI. The challenge I have is that in most cases they don't really have tactics, and as much as the AI are very, very good in their skill set and are able to do some really cool stuff, as you can see, we're often ending up in scenarios where they're just going to go for the ball. Maybe intermediate's the right level for them. They're the guys who've learned how to air dribble but not how to play the game. Maybe that's the audience they were going for with Psionics on the intermediate version of Hoops. Once you go up to expert, they are more tactically aware, which is good. But you're gonna get smacked around pretty heavy on expert. In all fairness, they are very, very good. Not impossible. I've had a couple of very competitive games against the expert crew, but overall they generally are very, very good. Hoops being this aerial version of the game means that you're more often than not going to end up losing the aerial battle against the very, very quick AI. So there we go. There's 2 losses from 2 for Hoops. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. If you have, stick in a thumbs up, like, subscribe. If there's anybody out there that wants to do some parties and play some doubles with me on here, just let me know and pop some comments down below. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you for watching Quantum Robin Gaming, and we'll see you again soon.